Hey girlies, welcome to the I Feel You pod. I'm Jory. If you're done telling your dreams one day, then I'm your girl because I'm gonna help you create a lifestyle worth living. So come grab your coffee, cozy up. Let's learn to overcome so we can become. And the best part, we get to do it together. Hey girlies, welcome back to the I Feel You pod. We are going to be talking habit stacking part 2 today. I'm super excited. This is something that I'm super passionate about because it's helped push me and propel me in all of the things that I've changed in my life. And I can't wait to see you guys be pushed and propelled in all of the things that you are doing. And I've already had such a great response from you girlies and the why worksheets and figuring out what's going to push you and the reasons that you can fall back on for when you're starting to change your life. So I'm super pumped to get this information to you. So let's just dig right in. We can say that we want to do something or that we will do something, but until we actually make the plan to do that thing, it lives in la la land. It's I'm going to lose 10 pounds. Okay, but when? I'm going to write this book. Okay, but when? And in the book that I've been reading, Atomic Habits by James Clear, they are talking about this scientific research project where the researchers come up with a sentence, and it's basically the plan that you make beforehand when and where to act. So you can say that you want to do these things, that you're going to do these things, but without the plan to do them, it's less likely to happen. And it's how we intend to implement the habit that's what is created in this sentence. So to make it sound way less smarty pants, because I read that and was implementation, intention, what talk is cheap. All right. So you got to act, you got to show up, you have to do something. There has to be something pushed behind the I want to do this, I am going to do this, or I have to do this. So when whatever this situation arises, I will do this. So if you can create a place and create a time for the change, that habit in your life, you're I think it's 91% more likely to do the thing. So for example, when I wake up, I will brush my teeth. I really hope you do, because nobody wants to walk around with stank breath like that. It's nasty. It's not cute. Okay. But that's how you need to formulate your implementation intention sentence. So when I get home from work, I am going to write one page of the book that I need to write. But I also think that it's super important to find somebody to hold you accountable. Okay. Because it's easy to say, well, yeah, I'm going to do this thing at this time. But then we can get in our heads and listen, I've done it too. Well, nobody knows that I actually am going to do this thing. So if I don't do it, there's nobody to yell at me for not doing it. And it's girl, if you don't get it together, find somebody to hold you accountable. I've got plenty of people in my life. Accountability is not fun, but it pushes you and progresses you in what you need to do. So find somebody who's going to ask you those hard questions. I'm going to work out. Okay, great. What time? Oh yeah. Let me hold you accountable. What time are you going to the gym? Yeah, I'm going to start putting myself out there and dating people. Great. What are you going to wear to your first date? I'm going to start strength training. Great. What gym are you going to? Find somebody who's going to ask you those questions, who's going to be bold and who's going to hold you accountable for doing those things because they love you enough to see you progress and move forward in your goals. When people are planning when people are planning their where and their when, they will implement a new habit and they're more likely to follow through. Okay. I know I feel like I'm saying the same things, but like repetition, baby, it's got to get in your head. When you figure out when you're going to do it and where you're going to do it, you're so much more likely to do that thing. And when we don't set a place or a time, we leave it up to chance. It's just like, oh, I'll remember to do the ABC, or I'll do it when I feel motivated. Let me let you know something. You're not going to feel motivated. And even if you do, motivation doesn't help keep you consistent. So when you have your desired habit, right? That habit turns from, well, I should do this, I want to do this, to a concrete plan of action when you figure out where, when you figure out when. It's no longer living in dreamland. It's no longer living in your journal of your dreams that I told you to write down. So I hope you've been doing that. And if you haven't, find somebody to hold you accountable. Okay. But I say this literally all the time. If you follow me on my fitness page on Instagram, and you'll start seeing it on the I Feel You Pod Instagram as well, that motivation means nothing. Okay. Like I am not motivated to do half the things that I do. Do you think I have an alarm set for 4:30 in the morning tomorrow so that I can get to the gym? Do you think I feel motivated at 4:30 in the morning to get up, get out of my cozy bed, make breakfast, and go to the gym? Heck no. Heck no. I want to stay in bed. I don't want to get up. I want to chill. I want to relax. I don't want to do anything. But I love and value myself enough to remain consistent, to be disciplined, even when the motivation is not there. Are there some times that I get up at 4:30 in the morning and I feel like, woohoo, baby, let's go? Absolutely, yes. But those are few and far between in comparison to making sure that I choose consistency and that I choose discipline. I value myself enough to. And I think that we need to get out of this like brain space of it's a punishment to like hold yourself accountable to doing something. It's like, oh man, I can't order pizza every night because I don't want to feel uncomfortable in my body. This sucks. Like, no, how about I value my body enough that I want to feel at home in it, that I want to feel healthy, that I want to look in the mirror and love what I'm looking at. So no, I'm not going to eat pizza every single night because I love myself. Like we really so much of everything, like I've said, is just in our like mental space. It has nothing to do really with the physical, because if it did, we would always do everything that we're supposed to do. There wouldn't be this battle in our mind of, well, I don't feel like it, or I'm not motivated. I don't want to do that. It takes too much work. Like it's all starts there. So being consistent, being disciplined, it comes from a place of like being clear, having that clarity with yourself for what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. And I think once we get that down, once we get the clear cut, this is the habit that we're going with. This is when we're going to do it. This is where we're going to do it. This is who's going to hold me accountable for it. This is why I'm doing it. You can literally start today. You don't have to wait for Monday. You don't have to wait for next week. You don't have to wait for next month. You don't have to wait for January 1st, which is almost a whole year from now. Like literally start today. If you have your plan, you know what you want to do, you're feeling inspired, then it's time to take action. Because when we have inspiration, there's a hope present, right? You're like, oh, like maybe I actually could do this thing. And when we have hope, then we have a reason to take action. If there's no hope, if we don't see like that there is a possibility to attain and to accomplish the thing that we're working towards, why would we do it? That's literally so silly. I'm not going to work 20 hours a week on a podcast if I think it's going to fail. That's literally silly. That is a waste of time. There's a hope. I was inspired to do what I'm literally doing right now and talking to you girls. And I expect that there's going to be like a return, that women are going to be helped, that women are going to be pushed and propelled in their purpose, that girlies are going to be swirlies. Okay. Like that's the reason that I'm here. If I didn't think that I was going to have any effect, that I didn't have like knowledge that was worth sharing, I would not be here right now. So there's something that's inside of you. There is a purpose that is on you that has a hope that you can be inspired by, that has a return, that has something to it to push you forward. And when I was reading in the book, I read this quote and I was like, whoop, this is way too good. This is way too good not to share. And it says, being specific about what you want and how you will achieve it helps you say no to the things that derail progress, distract your attention, and pull you off course. Baby, knowing your habit, knowing the specific habit that you have and how you're going to achieve it helps you say no. There's no, I don't hide it. I love the Lord. I love Jesus. So in the Christian community, there's a saying like, it might be good, but it's not God. And that can literally apply even if you don't know the Lord, don't care to know the Lord. It can apply to you too. Just because it's good doesn't mean that it's going to push you to where you're supposed to be. There are things that will come up that can be like, oh, let me run to the store for this person. Oh, let me do this. Let me do that. It's a good thing. It's not bad, but that derails you and distracts you from the thing that you should be doing that's going to push you in your purpose. So stop saying yes to the little things that take you away from pursuing your dreams. Just stop. Well, you don't understand. Listen, I understand. I have a big family who needs stuff. I have friends who need things. I have a job that has to be worked. I have people that need, like, I get it. You might be a mom and you have kids and you have a husband. You might be a student and you have tons and tons of schoolwork. Listen, I get it, but stop saying yes to and I'm not saying don't write your paper so that you can be an author. That's crazy silly. Okay. Don't fail your classes to pursue your dreams because that's just a mess. But what I'm saying is like the little extra things that pop up like, oh, hey girl, we're going clubbing tonight. No, you're going clubbing tonight. I'm staying home and working on whatever I got to work on. Or, hey, can you pick Jimmy up from school because I really want to go on. No, miss ma'am, you can pick your own Jimmy up from school because I have work to do. I have a book to write. I have a podcast to start. I have somebody to meet. I have a new coffee brewing strategy to plan, which if you do, let me know because your girl loves coffee and I will try it. Ship it to me. I'll buy it, whatever it is. But you need to stop saying yes to the little things that are going to distract you. And if you read the Bible, if you know the Lord, there's a verse that says the little foxes spoil the vine. If you don't, and you're like, I don't know what that means, just go look it up. I promise you. It's just saying like the little things come in to try to distract you from your main focus, from your main purpose. Okay. And the goal with implementing your habits is repetition, which I talked about last time, right? Like the neural pathways, right? When we repeat stuff 10,000 times or like 3 months worth of a time, it gets stuck in our brain so that it becomes the habit. It's not something that we're trying to implement anymore. It just exists. And with enough repetition, you begin to desire to do the thing, to do that habit at that time, even if you can't explain why. And, excuse me, I don't know if you guys watch The Office. You should because it's hilarious. But there's this episode where one of the characters is training the other character to salivate for a mint every time he turns his computer on, which comes from a study of like they were ringing a bell and a dog would start to salivate at the ring of the bell. And they didn't know why, but it happened. It was a training of their mind, that repetition that kept going. And it made them desire the mint. It made the dogs desire, I don't know, water or food. I forget which one. So like when you set yourself up to to work out every morning at 5 a.m., you're going to wake up. Now listen, there are going to be times where you're not motivated, but you're going to wake up and you're going to desire to do that thing because you've trained yourself. You've made that neural pathway. You have repeated it enough to make it a part of who you are and what you do. So that's like one part of habit stacking. But then there's the other part where I talked about it a little bit last time of like adding a new habit to a habit that you already have. And an easy way to do that is like to make 2 lists. You make one of what are the things that you do every day without fail. Like it doesn't matter what's happening, you're going to do this thing. And for example, you wake up, you get out of bed, you scroll social media, you brush your teeth, you make some Kodiak waffles, the chocolate chip ones, because they're the best, and you get dressed, right? But then your other list is like, okay, so what happens to you daily without fail? Like the sun rises, right? You can't control that, but it's probably going to happen. You see people because you work at a job. You get text messages because you have a cell phone. The sun sets, right? So you make your list of the things that you do without fail, that happen to you without fail. And then you get specific, which love this word. I feel like I've just been saying it over and over again, but I promise you, specifying is so important. Be specific. Instead of saying, I'm going to go to the gym in the morning, I'm going to the gym after I eat breakfast. Okay. So you have in your list, right? Make waffles. So you make your waffles, you eat your waffles, and then you get ready to go to the gym. So you pair your new habit, you stack it. I should have brought like Legos or something. That would have been cool. But you stack that habit on top of the other habit that you're already doing. And now you have another way to implement this new thing into your life. But so you're specifying, but then you need to make this thing obvious, the cue to that thing. So having waffles, having pancakes, whatever your breakfast is, like that's the obvious thing. Like, duh, I'm going to eat breakfast. And if you don't eat breakfast, I'm going to find you and I'm going to knock you out because breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm not even playing with you. It starts your metabolism. It gets your brain going. You can't start your day on an empty stomach. Stop it. Stop it. And coffee is not enough. So stop. You can have coffee, but you need to eat your breakfast too. Okay. So I just kind of want to recap a little bit. You need to change your behavior. Make the new habit obvious. Either it's a time and a place, or you're stacking it with something that you already do, right? Your common cues, your time and your location, your implementation, intention, strategy. It helps you pair your habit with the date with a place and with a time. I will blank at this time in this place. Or you can do both. I've done both. I can't like stick to one thing. I like the excitement of doing it a different way. Or you do the habit stacking, which it pairs your new habit with the current habit. After I blank, I will blank. And if you don't know like where to start with this stuff, I decided to give you guys some like micro habit ideas. Like if you don't know, I don't really know what my purpose is or what my new change is or whatever it is. There's just some like micro things that you can do just to add into your schedules, add into your day, that they're not bad things. They're not harmful things. They're not distracting things, but they're literally good for you. So drink a glass of water first thing in the morning. All right. Maybe it's not a glass. Maybe you need to put it in a cute little cup and you're like, dang, Jory, there's coffee in there. There's not coffee in here tonight. I cheated on my Keurig and I went to Starbucks, and yeah, you're probably going to hear me drink that, which is really gross. I'm sorry. Drink a glass of water first thing in the morning. Make your bed before you leave. there's just something about coming home and your bed is made and it just looks so much more cozy and more inviting. My sister told me this super scary, creepy thing because I would like get out of bed and immediately make my bed so that I didn't have to worry about it. But she was like, she sent me this article. If you don't let your bed breathe, if you don't let your bed breathe for however much time, I'm so sorry if I'm ruining your life right now, but I can't be the only one with this information. Mites, like there's like a bigger collection of like mites and I just can't. It's really gross. So let your bed air out, then make it before you leave. Do 2 minutes of stretching in the morning. Anybody who knows me knows I will ask, did you stretch today? You need to stretch. We'll stretch right now. I'll take my shoes off. I don't care where we are. We're stretching. I'll stretch with you. It is so important because a lot of like the pain and stuff that we're in, like kinks in our necks, the shoulders, the whatever, like just stretch for 2 minutes. Girl, please. Write 3 things that you are grateful for. I definitely need to get better at this, especially when I get stressed out. It's easy for me to be like, the world is ending and everything is awful. But like, there are things to be grateful for. 1, you're waking up with a roof over your head. All right. Some people don't get that. You have clothes. Okay. You have food in your house. You got Netflix. Don't be chilling, but you got Netflix. Or it can even be like less materialistic, but like I'm grateful that people trust me to have deep conversations. They trust me with things that are vulnerable. Or I'm thankful that I have people who are willing to hold me accountable, even if it might hurt my feelings sometimes, because they love me enough to see me progress. Or I'm grateful that I have great hair. My hair is growing back, actually. So somewhere in my weight loss journey, I got super stressed and I was losing weight like quickly. It was healthy, but it was quick. And a lot of my hair fell out and I started getting really nervous about it, but it's growing back now. So if you see anything sticking out, no, you don't. Okay, write 3 things that you're grateful for. Oh, take a quick walk every hour at work. Like if you're working an office job or you're mostly sitting, every hour, just take like a minute lap or whatever around your building. I know that I have to. I'm working on getting like a walking pad because I suck at sitting still. I don't know if you can tell because I'm like just moving all around over here, trying not to hit my microphone and everything, but I'm a mover. I gotta keep moving. Read for 5 minutes before bed. It might not be a whole chapter. It might be a whole chapter, but just take 5 minutes and read before bed. And put your phone away 30 minutes before bed. The like blue light or whatever that is taken in by our eyes before we go to sleep, it keeps us awake even longer. So if you can put that away before like 30 minutes before bed, it'll help you get way more rest. Make a to-do list for the day and journal. I know for me, like I am a verbal processor and it's hard to like come home as a single woman and I just have my dog who doesn't care about me unless I give him food. So I need to like get my thoughts down on paper, or even if you do have somebody to talk to, I still think it's important to write stuff down, get it journaled. It'll help so super much. But I hope that you ladies find these habits super helpful. I can't wait to see your habit stacking stories, your why work cheats on your stories. But yeah, find your groove with a routine that works for you. Start habit stacking, start changing, do all the things. I love you, girlies, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the I Feel You podcast. If you're looking for resources, you want to reach out to me, or you want to know more, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at ifeelyou.pod. See you girlies next time.